How was that?
So we're out here today talking about doing yoga, a video on yoga pertaining to shooters. My good friend Jon Uidl, who is a Master Jedi yoga instructor with the Yoga Lounge here in our hometown of Woodstock, Illinois. Wonderful place.
Check
It's
it out.
like a cosmic space journey every time you walk in there.
Good stuff. Check it out.
I do love the place. Jon has a similar background as me, destroyed his body doing trades in martial arts, right?
That's it,
And then
yep.
decided as a wiser, a little bit older young man that you were gonna tune yourself up, right?
That's right. Try to keep it together.
And you have been.
Yeah.
Myself, I have been experiencing all kinds of hand and arm issues the last few years, and the gripping motion of shooting tends to exacerbate those problems. So seeing a physical therapist, a chiropractor, doctors, taking some medication, taking different types of herbal supplementation and such, got to the point where really it's gonna take like a concerted effort on my part and physical therapist to get some of this stuff squared away. So I contacted Jon and was talking about what things can shooters do, and this is good for anybody, to one, alleviate these problems, but help stop those problems from coming to fruition to begin with. So we're gonna touch on some of those issues, and then we're also gonna wrap into this some of the wonderful benefits that yoga brings, such as the calming, relaxing effects, right? The ability to center through stress.
Yep.
Well, you want to talk about that for a minute?
Well, yeah, we're gonna do some breath work basically. So by controlling the breath in different ways, the breath gives us direct access to the nervous system. So we're able to either amp up the nervous system. We can breathe, yeah, along those lines, or long, slow, steady breath, and very, very methodically and directly calm the nervous system under any kind of circumstances. So that's beneficial for a multitude of reasons.
So somebody in a fight or flight scenario could start to control the adrenaline dump through breathing, right?
Yeah.
We call that combat breathing in other arenas. And somebody maybe in a competition setting where they kind of get juiced up.
Sure, when the nerves start amping up, yeah, it's a great idea. Come to the breath, calm down, and again, the nervous system calms down, and then all the muscle memory stuff and all the training that we've done is able to flow in a better way.
You can let that subconscious information come out where you don't have that monkey brain controlling.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to get to the point where you're using one of these, you got to take care of your body. Pat Matt calls it the combat chassis. Said that earlier and you giggled, but that's true. This hunk of meat and bones carries us from cradle to the grave.
Right on.
I just sang it in my head for a minute.
So yeah, we'll take care of it as best we can and tune it up, and yeah.
So I say we jump right in so Jon, as you stated to me, a lot of this stuff is because I'm repetitively doing things and I'm not making up for the damage. Is that kind of a good way to look at it?
I would say so. Countering would say
countering. Okay. So with shooting, one of the things that we teach, and me, I do this so much, I've overworked these muscle groups through my forearms, my elbows, my fingers even. I have times where I'm starting to have aches and pains in my hands. So we're clamping down, with our hands like this, and this is an inert training tool here. This isn't a real gun. So when I finish, sometimes I come home and I gotta put ice packs on my elbows, which really doesn't do much besides alleviate the pain. What kind of exercises should I be doing to keep all of this stuff fluid and loose?
Okay, so we'll start the hands. Start with the hands and the forearms. Excellent. Best thing is come down like hands and knees.
Okay, let's do that.
So Mick's gonna come down onto his hands and knees. He's gonna stack his knees under his hips and wrists under his shoulders. Now spread the fingers wide here, spread the webbing between each finger. So we really want to, a lot of this is about stretching, and again, moving counter to the repetitive motion of all this training and all this gripping, whether you're turning a wrench, whether you're holding a firearm, swinging a hammer, whatever it is. So again, we spread the fingers wide, and we really want to ground through the base of the thumb and the first finger. So he's not pressing weight in the carpal tunnel, which will exacerbate the problem and more pressure on the nerves. So we don't want to do that. So then all he's going to do from here now is shift his chest forward and stretch the forearms a little bit in this way. So
Chuck decided she wants into this video.
Yeah, she knows the benefits of yoga. So
I've got weight into my index and thumb, and I'm shifting my weight.
you're gonna shift your chest forward just until you start to feel a stretch in the forearm.
I feel that. That feels wonderful. Now, am I holding and breathing here? Or?
Yeah, you're gonna hold and you're gonna breathe. So
how far forward should I come? Like, I don't have any kind of pain here, so should I keep coming forward, or is there a point of...
It's going to depend. It's going to depend person to person and your range of motion. So ideally, we're not looking to move headlong into pain. We kind of want to come up to your edge of sensation in a way. So when you start to really feel a stretch, and then very cautiously and methodically proceed from there. So and working with the breath as well. So smooth, slow and steady breath in this way. And then we would pause here for just a bit and let things loosen up. Also keep in mind that this is a lifetime of hard work, of martial arts, of all this kind of stuff. So this isn't going to be undone in one 5, 10, 20 minute session of stretching. So that's something else to keep in mind. So
I feel
patience.
this through my shoulders. I feel my shoulders loosening up. It feels wonderful.
Excellent. Okay, and then feel free to shift forward, like I would say inhale, and then on the exhale, shift forward even a little bit further and see what that feels like.
I'm having to be really conscious of not transferring this weight out into my pinkies and the outside of my palm here.
Again, so back to the point of really grounding through the base of the thumb and the first finger, that transfers the weight load to the inseam of the arm as well. And again, off of the carpal tunnel. So if you've ever had any issues, certainly we all know people, if you haven't yourself had carpal tunnel experience, you're gonna have a bad time, so we want to avoid that.
So how long should we be doing an exercise like that for?
I would say for something like that, a minimum of 72 seconds. You want to hold that for a minimum of 72 seconds in order for...
A very specific number.
For connective tissue, because we're not only talking about musculature, we're talking about connective tissue as well. So ligaments, tendons, and also fascia in the body as well. So that's a matrix of connective tissue that runs through the entire body. And that's in large part what we're lengthening, stretching, loosening up as well. And muscles are all wrapped in fascia, and a lot of times impingement really comes not from muscles being tight, but comes from the fascia being stuck, and then muscles that are designed to glide over one another and move freely are not.
Heard a lot more about the fascia as of late. Not that it's some new discovery, but I think people are starting to understand it more in the gyms.
Exactly, and physical trainers, massage therapists, yogis, all of this, it's becoming a much more to the forefront as in the last bunch of years.
What kind of frequency for this? Daily?
Well, if you do a little, you'll change a little, do a lot, and you'll change a lot. So it's entirely up to you and how much. Daily is not a bad idea. I mean, if you think about how often we use our hands and the kind of abuse that we put them under, you know, it's a maintenance thing, basically. So daily, if you can manage, that would be a really great idea.
Okay.
So, and again, I would say a minimum of 72 seconds in order for things to start to loosen up and start to reorganize.
Is there a specific name that you call this particular exercise?
Not really. I mean, it's just from table pose or just stretching.
So this is table pose, and I'm applying my weight forward to stretch out.
Yeah.
The inside of my wrists here.
Yeah.
And forearms.
And then from here, you can spin your hands out to the sides about 90 degrees.
So like this?
Like so, and then see what that feels like.
Same forward motion.
Same forward motion.
I feel that on my outside of my elbow joint quite a bit. But like you said, everybody's going to be different the way that they've...
Certainly wear and tear.
Where should I be applying the grounding points in this?
It's same thing. So we want to, yeah.
I feel that.
And again, so you're going to be different. Every person's going to be different, and you're going to certainly be different side to side. Most obvious with the dominant arm situation. So, and then from here again, so you can, as best you can, this will depend on your range of motion, but if you can spin the fingers into the body any amount. And now what you're going to do This may very well be enough. It's gonna, again, just completely depend from day to day. You may have a range of motion today that may be more or less tomorrow. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna shift your weight back.
I can feel that. Nice pull across the crease of my elbow joint. Feel it from my bicep all the way to my elbow. I like that.
Yeah, and you can shift a little right to left, kind of fish around, play with the rotation, play, where you're applying pressure, how you're applying pressure.
Just tugging and pulling on the muscles, and ligaments and tendons.
Yeah. So this is certainly a more challenging position for the hands and the forearm. So what we'll do here is we'll ask Mick to take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, so we're gonna kind of connect breath and movement. He's gonna shift his weight back, increasing the sensation on the exhale. Again, coming back to the breath, using the breath to, in a way, control or give us access to the nervous system. So you can move forward, again, move forward on inhale, releasing some of the sensation, then on an exhale, we'll have him shift his hips back, weight back. And again, you can shift a little right to left. It's certainly, dominant hand is going to be tighter and require more time and effort.
Yeah. It does feel good though.
Okay, and then now to counter that, you flip over and go palms up. So this is a very challenging.
I've caused a lot of damage to these wrists. So
Sure.
How far should I be trying to force the backs of my hands into the floor?
That's an excellent point. So in none of these type of, we don't even have to call it yoga. We can call it stretching if
We can call it yoga.
Okay, we'll call it yoga. At no point, though, do we want to force. So, quite the opposite. So, it would say it's going to depend. It's going to depend on your range of motion. We want to work up to the edge of sensation and not dive into pain. So this isn't cross training. This isn't martial arts.
The edge of sensation.
Yes.
What are we calling sensation?
So let's say a sharp or a pulling sensation. Something along those lines. So we don't want anything that feels hot or particularly sharp.
Is it weird that my arms feel very warm right now?
No, that's totally cool. And so you're increasing blood flow.
Okay.
And vascular function in your arm. So that's
You're
totally
talking hot, like shearing.
I'm talking like hot, like a searing sensation or
Just tore something or
exactly, because to be very honest, full disclosure, you can hurt yourself doing this type of stuff if it's not done carefully.
So I'm not forcing the backs of my hands.
Not forcing in any way, shape, or form. Nor you're not going to force the backs of your wrist to the floor or force your elbows straight.
Okay. Yeah, I can feel that. I don't want to do that.
And the hands are are truly an incredible piece of equipment. The articulation, and the sensation that we've got in our hands and feet as well, but our hands we're talking about now. So we want to be careful and take very good care of them.
I like that.
So the way you would any kind of a good tool. You take very good care of it. So, and then you can also, you can bring your hands together in front of heart center like this, and again work that. This is a little less, but you can go back to the palms together, just like we did on the floor. And this may be more of an accessible thing. You can do this at your desk. You can do this at the range. You don't have to.
Knees at the
right. You don't want to be on your hands and knees at the range.
Marty, what are you doing back there?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
somebody could misunderstand.
Sure.
That could happen. I like it. People can find you at the Yoga Lounge?
Yeah, the Yoga Lounge. We're on the website on the Scenic Square in Woodstock here. So, yeah.
Yogalounge.com?
Believe so.
All right. I'd like to do more with Jon. We've known Jon for, like 10 years now.
Yeah.
Watched your beard grow. We've watched your beard grow.
Yep.
And watched you grow as an instructor. Went from Padawan to Jedi now. Yeah. It's weird that you keep telling people that. He does it. But this is good stuff, and this is the stuff that elongates your life and makes your life better, more full, more useful. If the whole point of all of this combatives and dark arts bullshit is just violence, then you've done it all for the wrong reasons. The point is to live a longer, happier, fuller life. And if we're not taking care of this pile of meat and bones, we will not have a happier, fuller life. We're gonna be getting up in age, having to pop pain meds and you know, see doctors when it doesn't need to be. Take care of yourself.
Take care of your body, it'll take care of you.
Take care of each other. This is Mickey, carrytrainer.com, Jon Uidl,
YogaLounge.com.
YogaLounge.com, Jedi Master.
Yeah.
I feel so fluid right now. Like,
Excellent.
namaste. It's been talking a little bit about doing some yoga for shooting, right?
That's right.
This is my good friend Jon Uidl. Some people call him Udel, but it's Uidl.
Either way.
Either way. We're gonna go with Uidl, the correct pronunciation.
That's right.
Relax.
I'm done.
You need a little hit off the reaper pipe or some shit?
I know you're not holding.
So I say we jump right in to the nude scene. See, what I'm trying to do is wrap this shit together to make people understand that we're not just talking about stretching. So I was here.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Come on, Drew.
Jon Uidl from the Yoga Lounge. Jon is a master yoga instructor, Jedi yoga practitioner.